one, like the honey O's, whatever. Same difference. It was very good.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday.
Monday and All Hallows Eve.
Yes, it is. Oh, I guess the 30th All Hallows Eve and
I
the
think.
31st is I don't know. But happy almost Halloween to
Yes.
everyone. I know some of us have been celebrating Halloween since like August, and
Yeah.
it's time to move on.
I
So
am wearing my
what's the
little
next?
blue shirt and hat to kind of get me in the spirit because I am
Excellent.
definitely like already ready to transition. But
I obviously have not invested in enough Lil Boo merchandise.
hey, this was when it was heavily discounted last year. I usually, unless there's something I really want, I wait to the end. I got the
Mhm.
HHN denim jacket last year for like $8 and it was originally
Wow.
90. So I
Wow.
wait to the end, unless it's a piece that you have your heart set on, just wait.
Well, you know the one thing that you really want is going to end up selling out, and everything else
Exactly.
everything else will be at the garage sale for 90% off.
Right. Yeah. So I try to wait if I can. Usually.
Well, before we kick this off, let's say hi to some folks in the chat. Our good friend Michael Bingham, as always, first up. Thank you for tuning in for this brand new podcast. And yes, R.I.P. Matthew Perry. That was some very shocking news this week. Blossom and Michelangelo checking in from Derrico's Corner. And Brian Sager also pouring one out for Matthew Perry. And he's wondering if we're going to get a announcement for HHN tomorrow, since they announced Chucky last year.
I haven't heard anything.
Did the event run through the weekend after Halloween last year, though? It would be unusual for them to announce next year's house before the final night of this year's event, but hey, who knows?
Exactly. It could be Halloween. We'll see.
And we've got a Pinto Marcel checking in from Ocean Ridge, Florida. Hey, thanks for joining us. All right. Well, we've got some folks tuned in, so I think it is time for us to kick this off in 3, 2, and 1.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 215 of the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I am Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. And Carly, I missed you so much. I was away last week, busy traveling. How have you been, and what have you been up to?
I have been great. I'm glad you had a good trip. I had another silver fox, as we'll call it, replace you on Monday. My husband, Adam.
No one can tell the difference. No one. Other than the background changing, that no one would know.
But yeah, no, I've been keeping it low key. I was also on the West Coast. I know we were like ships passing in the night.
I know you were in Disneyland, and then I was in Disneyland, and then
yes. For those not familiar, Universal Hollywood and Disneyland are not near each other. So
it's a drive. It's a drive.
It's a bit of a drive. So I wanted to ask you. So I did HHN Hollywood. I got the frequent fear pass this year. I had gone earlier in the season. Last weekend, I went 3 nights in a row to really get my money's worth. So
that's a lot. Wow.
7 times. I wanted to hear about your experience.
I did not have that luxury. I was one and done. I do have an annual pass out there, but I did not have a frequent fear. I just bought a 1-night ticket, and I also bought, which I highly recommend, their version of an early entry pass. Here in Orlando, if you are an annual pass holder and you have a ticket to the event at night, you can automatically do the stay and scream, which lets you get into houses early. Out there, you have to, even if you're an annual pass holder, have this kind of early access bridge ticket. Otherwise, you're confined to the upper lot. With that ticket, you get down to the lower lot, and I was able to get through Stranger Things and Holidays in Hell and get up to the upper lot in time for the things there. As long as you, there's kind of a rolling opening of the houses. I was able to do all the houses except for Exorcist, and I skipped Exorcist because I did not enjoy it in Orlando, and I did, based on videos, thought that the Hollywood version wouldn't be any better. So I did skip that, but I did everything else in the event, and overall I was very impressed. I think it's come a long way since the last time I attended in 2019. A lot less black hallways.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I really enjoyed the Terror Tram. I found that overall the event does not necessarily have the sense of humor that in the houses in Orlando. We always have one or two kind of comedy houses. We didn't have that in the houses so much, but the Terror Tram kind of made up for it with its sense of humor. And I love being able to walk past the Psycho House and through the world set. I even, I enjoyed some of the food. I had a Surfer Boy pizza, which I thought was pretty decent.
So much better than the Orlando one. I was so bummed with the Orlando one, but they have pretty good personal pan pizzas at Universal Hollywood, and that's kind of what the base is for it. I also had the Surfer Boy pizza, very good. The Demogorgon pizza, did you try that?
I did not. I could only eat so much.
Right. Exactly. That's why it's good to go back again and again, because it's not always a priority. So Chucky, I love Chucky much more out there.
I was going to say my two top things this year were, number one, Chucky. It was the worst house, I thought, in Orlando by far, and I thought it was the best house in Hollywood. Those animatronics were spot on. It did have humor, but also a ton of gore, and really aggressive cast. I thought that was 10 out of 10. And the other thing I loved was The Purge. I love the Waterworld show, and this was everything I like about the Waterworld show, plus lasers and dubstep, EDM, and lots of blood. I have never seen that much graphic gore in a theme park show. You could hear the whole audience just go, ooh! It was great. I loved it.
No, I loved it. There's a total, I hope you'll agree with me, a different vibe to Hollywood than Orlando. Like, much different vibe. It's a kind where, like, I enjoy going back because even if I don't do houses, I enjoy the atmosphere of walking around. I think the scare actors on the streets are much more in your face. I think the pumping music throughout also, I don't know, it gives you this vibe. It's like a darker, I guess that's what you kind of said with, there's no like fun kitschiness. It has a darker vibe, and it's almost like you're at kind of just like the best dark Halloween party ever. I don't know. It's really hard to describe the difference.
No, I think you're right. And for years I was like, no, the Orlando version is so much better than Hollywood's event. But I think that, they've pulled even in their own ways. They still have, differences. But I really, really enjoyed my time in Hollywood. And the other thing I will say is, if you were ever out in Hollywood, the only thing that was better than my visit there was my visit to the Magic Castle. If you ever are given an opportunity to visit the Magic Castle, do it, do it, do it. It's hard to describe, except like a mashup of the Adventurers Club and Sleep No More. With world-class magicians. It's this,
so cool.
You could, if it was just the building and it was just exploring this incredible maze of rooms and kind of Gothic Victorian design, that would be enough. But in each room, there's a different, illusionist performing, and there's great drinks and food, and it's a members-only thing, so you have to be invited. So find someone who's a member or a magician and get yourself in there, because...
Did you stay over?
Oh, no. There is a hotel. If you stay at their hotel, you can also get in. We had our friend, shout out to attractions correspondent, friend of the podcast, Greg Dow, who was performing there and hooked me up. Just one of the best evenings of my life.
Love it.
But you got to dress nice. And if you go during Halloween, you have to wear a costume, which is something I did not discover till I was already there. So be warned. Check the dress code.
Love it. So fun.
All right. Well, that about wraps that up. I think without any further ado, it is time for us to jump into the news in the queue. For our first piece of news in the queue, we're going to be out in Disneyland, where the Adventureland Treehouse is finally going to open on November 10th. This is the return of the Swiss Family Robinson to the treehouse, which was taken over by Tarzan for so many years. And I think it's kind of hilarious that it's taken twice as long to refurbish the tree than it took to build not only the tree, but to build all of Disneyland in the first place.
No comment. Yes. It's kind of how I feel about Moana. I'm just like, are we still talking about this?
Yeah, Moana, though, once you got in there and you saw all that rock work, you saw all of that infrastructure for the water that had to be done. I kind of appreciated when it went to Moana. This is, the refurbishment of an existing structure. They demolished the old entrance, which kind of went across the pathway and made a bottleneck around the bridge to pirates. So that's great. I was so hoping that when I was there last week that this would be open, but no such luck. It does look great. It looks just like the concept art. We've got all of these new rooms that are sort of loosely inspired by Swiss Family Robinson, but they've kind of updated the family. So each room corresponds to a different member of the family, and they each have their own interest. But I did not see the water wheel working yet, and I think that's the big thing that everyone's waiting for, the return of the moving, working water wheel.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to explore how the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, is going to kind of fit in with little nods and whatnot.
Yeah, I think those are going to be some real subtle Easter eggs. We've noticed some signage related to that.
Right, like a name on a book, yeah.
Yeah. But we do know they've broken down for us the various components of the house, starting with that water wheel, which generates the energy that powers all of the different things that are throughout the house. There's a daughter who's an astronomer, so you see telescopes and the things she uses to track the stars. Mother is into music, and this is where you get to hear the classic Swiska polka again.
Yes.
The twin brothers are into plants and animals, and Dad is into gadgets and appliances. There's also a kitchen with, I guess, food that cooks itself somehow. So we're gonna see all of this starting on November 10th.
Interesting choice for a opening date, just with the holidays getting ramped up, and we know it's going to be super busy around that time. So
Exactly.
Very interesting.
Yes, because as you mentioned, the holidays at Disneyland officially kick off that same day, November 10th. They run through January 7th. If you are not a vlogger, I would probably avoid November 10th because everyone will be there trying to get their first videos up. But I am.
We'll be there in the future.
I will be there in the future. I am looking forward to it. They haven't talked. I'm hoping that there's still enough to see on the ground level. This is a great attraction, but it definitely dates back to the days before ADA. You would never build a walking attraction with this many stairs today. When it was Tarzan, there was an area on the lower level with like pots and pans to bang on, and there were things that were ADA accessible down on the lower level. So I'm assuming that there'll be something similar when this reopens. While we're out at Disneyland, let's talk a little bit about Pixar Place Hotel, which is officially opening on January 30th, 2024. Coming up not too long. This has been so many different things. It was the Pan Pacific Hotel once upon a time. Then it was bought by Disney. It was Paradise Pier Hotel for a while, and now it's going to be themed to Pixar.
Yes, I have been writing a lot about it, and I still write the wrong thing every single time. I've been
every time
for Pier Hotel, Paradise Place. Like, it's just one of those things that I cannot get right. Pixar Place Hotel.
Pixar Place Hotel. Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. Did you hop in there when you were just at Disneyland?
I did not, because the lobby, the public areas are still pretty much a construction zone.
Right.
The last time I stayed there, it was kind of like staying in an Amazon warehouse because it was just like, they had turned a ballroom into the lobby, and it was not particularly festive, and the prices were not any lower.
Yes,
So
I
I'm
do
waiting
like
for
the
it
new
to.
store. I went into
Yeah,
the new store and it's very
I did
cool.
not get a chance to see that. I'll have to check that out. I'm waiting for it to all be finished up so I can see it with fresh eyes. But we do have some artist renderings of the guest rooms, which reminds me a little of the guest rooms at the Contemporary that they incredibilized.
And also
Uh,
Pop Century.
yeah, in Pop Century, it's your basic Disney hotel modern, with the kind of vinyl tiles on the floor that look like hardwood, and some Pixar-ish primary colors, and a big mural on the wall of Pixar characters. Um, I think the two signature items that are going to be in the decor are the lamp,
Yeah.
the Luxo Junior lamp, and a pillow on the bed in the shape of the ball.
Yes,
And
very
I think
cool.
if you,
I really
he,
like the headboards, and so they're going to be different Pixar animated films integrated in there. And
mhm.
actually, Pixar animated studio artists worked on some of the art pieces. They said.
I got to say, the part I am most looking forward to is maybe a Great Maple Restaurant. I've had a mixed history with the restaurants at that hotel, and they've had a character buffet that was good sometimes and not so good some
Right.
other times. But this is, one of the first times that I can remember they've partnered with a pre-existing restaurant to open a branch inside an on-site hotel. So if you are looking for Southern style comfort food, like their specialty is chicken and waffles, but you can have bacon donuts and mac and cheese. It does not. Well, I think there are some healthier options on the menu, but if you want to eat unhealthy, this looks like a pretty good
Yeah,
place to do
breakfast,
it.
lunch, and dinner. Splurge.
Yeah. And I do know that they have wrapped up work on some of the elements up on the roof. They've got that new splash pad and pool themed to Finding Nemo going. I love this adorable fire pit shaped
Yes.
like anger from Inside Out. And as you mentioned, the store is open right now.
Yes,
And
it's interesting how they're rolling out slowly. It's very hard to explain to people. It's opening January, but
yeah.
we're getting little tidbits. The Great Maple is opening, I believe, November, and then I think shortly after, just outside of the store in the lobby, is that coffee shop that they also redid. So
Yes.
that's going to open for grab and go stuff also sometime in November after Maple.
And I believe they're also going to have some food on a bar up on the pool deck soon too. I do think it's amusing that they called the store Store E.
Yes.
I'm just surprised they didn't just call it By and Large. And I do love this Monsters Inc. art and the newly expanded fitness center that they have.
Yes.
I guess
love that mural.
that'll
It's
motivate
great.
you to keep going. Still waiting for that lobby to finish up, but we know that there will be a Luxo Junior lamp balancing on the Pixar ball under a new kind of Calder-esque mobile hanging from the ceiling.
Very cool. Yeah.
So,
and then also in November 2nd, I believe, is when Palm Breeze Bar opens at the Villas at Disneyland Hotel.
yes.
So I'm excited that there's some new options. I feel like when the Villas at Disneyland Hotel opened, that brought in another bank of occupancy, and there's just not enough dining. If you've ever hung out around downtown Disney, it's hard to eat.
Yeah, well, especially now with the complex that was the AMC and the Earl of Sandwich gone, there are definitely not enough dining options on the west side of downtown Disney to support the hotel guests. We've talked before, that'll be changing soon with a whole bunch of new restaurants coming in. I did not check out this hotel, but I did check out the new villas at Disneyland Hotel during my visit, and was surprised to find gated, key card gates added to all of the entrances that I used to use to get to Trader Sam's when I'm not staying on site. You can still get through the main entrance closest to security most of the day, but it looks like that also has a key card now, and there's a sign saying that it is closed after 9 p.m. So it definitely seems like they are not, obviously it's one of those things where as long as you don't look too suspicious, you can sort of loiter around until someone comes out and just slip your way in. But it does not look like they are particularly encouraging offsite guests to use the facilities there right now, because I think they're at capacity. You add all those new rooms and you don't add more food and food and drinks. People got to go somewhere.
Absolutely. And that's why I was surprised, but also not surprised. So Palm Breeze Bar at the Villas is going to be open to the public, and their menu is quite robust, like with pizzas and everything. But Disneyland Hotel needs that.
Yeah.
It needs kind of like somewhere to grab and go, because if you've ever, hung around Trader Sam's, which I'm always hanging around there, it is a line of people that are very angry at the host or hostess, whoever is working.
Yeah, 3 p.m, there was a line out the door. I didn't even bother asking. Yep, no Trader Sam's for me that trip.
Well, sad face.
It's not the same without you there.
Yes.
All right. In other Disney news, back on the East Coast, Disney After Hour events are returning to Walt Disney World in 2024. If you can't get enough of hard ticket events where you pay more than the price of one-day admission for a few hours in the park, you are going to be very excited, because Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot are all going to be participated in these separately ticketed events.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little upset. I miss the days when I could just go to Tambu at 11 p.m., have a drink, and then go to Magic Kingdom and play into the wee hours. So
I miss times when Magic Kingdom was regularly open till 11 p.m. or midnight for regular admission. I also miss when there were e-ticket nights where you could just add on for $20, 3 or 4 hours. So basically in this you get entry into the park starting at 7 p.m. And then the event is going to run. I'm sorry, I've just lost on this piece of paper, or this article I'm reading, the closing time. But it's basically only a few hours in the park. But you do get all you can eat ice cream treats, popcorn, and non-alcoholic beverages, along with popular rides and character experiences.
Yeah, I mean, this is personally, I don't think for you or I, but I can see the family that is coming, that is purchasing tickets out of pocket. Maybe that's the day where they don't purchase theme park tickets, but do Disney Springs for lunch, or maybe the pool, and then come at night and use that as their park day. But yes, I think it serves a specific purpose. But yeah, I'm still salty I love going to Magic Kingdom late at night.
Yeah. And the seasonal hard ticket events at the Magic Kingdom are perfect for that kind of thing. Because you are getting exclusive entertainment, usually special fireworks or a special parade or something that you can't see every other day.
Right.
This is there'll be some extras, but they're not really promoting anything unique. The one unique thing that I do think will be going on is at the Magic Kingdom on these event nights, there will be a standby queue for Tron. So I think these people are paying a lot of money to be guinea pigs for what Tron will be like when they finally get rid of virtual queue. But so if you want to do this at the Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios, you are going to pay between $155 and $175 for this. At Epcot, it's a bargain at only $149 to $159. November 14th is when these go on sale to the general public. But if you have a hotel stay booked on site during one of the select nights, these are happening January through April. You can buy your tickets starting on November 7th.
Yes. And then I know the big thing for many that loved Enchantment, that is only returning for ticket holders of Magic Kingdom after hours events. So thought that was pretty interesting. If you're a big fan, that may entice you enough to
Yes.
want to try it.
Yes. Yeah, I misspoke when I said that there was nothing extra. Enchantment is, if you are a fan of that one, and if you were to buy a ticket both for the park during the day and this hard ticket at night, that would be a very expensive way to see both Happily Ever After and Enchantment in the same night, I guess. So, DisneyWorld.com if you want more information about these events. All right, Fantasy Springs at Tokyo Disney Sea is opening up on June 6th, 2024. And gosh, if anyone out there is listening, wants to send me out there, please, I want to see it.
Yeah. A dream for sure.
This is the new expansion to Tokyo Disney Sea, which is the sister park to Tokyo Disneyland. And it features 3 themed areas, one based on Frozen, one based on Tangled, and one based on Peter Pan's Neverland. And they look simply spectacular.
Yes, I am most excited for the Neverland one because that's just, it's just something that we haven't tapped into enough in domestic parks. I love Peter Pan's Flight, but it's not enough for me. So I can just imagine how they're gonna, knock this out of the park just based on the artist renderings.
Yeah, Peter Pan's Flight is definitely the new Peter Pan ride. I should say is definitely the thing that I have the most curiosity about what it is, what it does.
Right.
But the entire expansion, which is going to be the 8th port at Disney Seas, it's pretty impressive when you consider that Hong Kong is opening up a Frozen Land, which I'll be out there reporting on for attractions soon. And that's just a fraction of what they've got added here in Tokyo. So you've got Frozen Kingdom, which is based on Frozen, Rapunzel's Forest, which is Tangled, and Peter Pan's Neverland. The entrance is between the Lost River Delta and the Arabian Coast area. And in addition to these 3 themed areas, we've also got new hotels.
Yes.
So it's the complete package. Like some places would call this an entire theme park. And
We're not just talking a new hotel, we're talking an attached hotel.
Yes.
I love that. So you're going to have park entry, and I'm assuming some rooms will have the amazing views. But you'll be paying for it, I'm sure.
Yes. This is what they call a park integrated hotel. And it's called Fantasy Springs Hotel, and it's kind of like 2 hotels in one. They've got the deluxe side, which is called the Fantasy Chateau. And I'm sure, on-site hotels in Tokyo are not cheap. But if you really want to go all out, they have a luxury type Grand Chateau, and I'm sure that is the one that is going to have the most exclusive views into the park. I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
And plus just being able to practically walk out of the lobby and straight into the park is a huge, huge benefit.
Absolutely. And then if you are in America, our dollar is so strong there. So ticket prices are already, you're going to be shocked by it. It comes out to like $68 or something crazy a day when you compare it to domestic park prices. And it's also like merchandise too. Ears are so expensive here. I think they're like under $20 there. So yes, it's a lot to get there, and the hotel is probably a lot, but there's a lot of other ways that you can kind of save compared to U.S. parks.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm doing my research and starting to plan because I was already hoping to be there in the fall of 2024. So this lines up perfectly. Unless, like I said, someone wants to send me.
Yes.
Just to recap, because we've talked about it in past episodes, but to break it down, the new attractions we're going to have in the Kingdom of Arendelle, you've got Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, which is basically a clone of what we're getting in Hong Kong very soon, and which is kind of a slightly tweaked version of what we already have in Epcot, just with better animatronic faces.
Real faces, yes.
Real faces, yes. You've got in Rapunzel's Forest, there is a boat ride with the floating lanterns from the Lantern Festival in Tangled. And like I mentioned, Peter Pan's Neverland, not only do you have Captain Hook's pirate ship, which is kind of a nod to the old pirate ship that was in Fantasyland at the original Disneyland. But you've got two rides. One is a Tinkerbell spinner. Looks like a family-friendly ride. But the
Right.
other is this flying Peter Pan attraction that I don't know, from the concept art, it's got to be some sort of simulator, maybe.
I
I'm
can tell, yeah.
assuming there's got to be lots of screens, but we really don't know exactly what it is or what it does, and I'm very excited to find out.
Yes, and just like that rendering, it looks a lot to me. Look at the pirate ship and stuff like Disneyland Paris, which is one of my favorite lands there, where they have you can walk through the Skull Rock and whatnot. So I'm sure this is going to be like next level, but just a little taste of it.
So as we mentioned, this all opens up June 6th, 2024. And you can find more information at tokyodisneyresort.jp. And moving on for more Disney news, this time on the high seas. If you did not have enough reasons already to book a voyage on the Disney Treasure cruise ship, they have revealed the Haunted Mansion Parlor, which is a Haunted Mansion themed bar that is there's going to be a line out the door to get in this one when the new Disney Treasure cruise ship sets sail in December of 2024.
Yes, I'm excited for it, but yeah, like you said, I mean, we see how hard it is to get into Hyperspace Lounge on the Wish. They had to use a whole system. That is definitely going to happen here. Going to be rough because it does look amazing, and this is the first ever Haunted Mansion bar. So
yeah, so basically, if you ever were riding through the Haunted Mansion, we're really tempted to just kind of get up out of your dune buggy and just sort of move in and live there. You're going to be camped out here. It looks very much taken from the design aesthetic of the original Haunted Mansion, but they've kind of woven in an addition to classic characters like the hitchhiking ghosts who are going to appear as ghostly images in the mirror behind the bar. They've also woven in a story of a new character, which is a cursed sea captain. So it's kind of tie the classic Haunted Mansion together with Mystic Manor and other similar related attractions all across the world.
Yes, and if you've been in, they said this is the exact same size as Hyperspace. It is really small. Like these pictures really make it look way bigger than it is. It's really intimate. But if you do want to fight your way inside, I do have to say the drinks look good.
The drinks look excellent. We've got 3 featured in this article. There's a blood orange and sour cherry 0 proof cocktail called Sympathetic Libations.
It looks so cool too.
Another mocktail made with ube, so it's purple. Garnished with a gummy eyeball, of course. And if you want something a little stronger, you can get a spooky margarita served amidst a swirl of flavored smoke, and it's got a secret message that is only revealed under black light. So, drink and a show all in one. And if you want, and of course, to remember your cocktail, they have all sorts of really nice looking merchandise, mugs, shirts, a really expensive looking clock.
Yes.
And a mirror, again, with the hitchhiking ghosts that mysteriously appear.
Yes, if you can get in here, I mean, I would probably purchase them all. The mug especially taps into kind of the overall theme of the Disney Treasure itself, which I kind of love how it does that. The shirt, amazing. And hopefully we'll get maybe some sort of mugs. I don't know. I feel like they do. Trader Sam's already does the Haunted Mansion tiki mugs. Why isn't that part of this?
Yes,
waiting.
Absolutely. I hope so. The other thing I'm curious about, this kind of went a little wild on social media. The back of this concept art shows the Donald Duck chair. If you don't know, this is a chair that appeared in the Haunted Mansion right next to the endless hallway near the beginning of the ride. And people think that the design on it looks like Donald Duck's face.
Hmm.
And this, not long ago, disappeared from the Orlando version of the ride. It looks like they are installing the Hatbox Ghost animatronic that
Yep.
we are getting in Orlando right where this was. So a lot of folks are speculating whether this is a recreation, a tribute, or if this is the actual chair from the
Oh,
ride. If it is, it's 50 something years old and probably isn't gonna stand up well if people are sitting in and taking selfies. So
yeah.
I hope it's a recreation and the original is in
It,
the archives.
oh, it's in the
I really hope.
archives.
I really hope. But we will find out for sure when Disney Treasure sets sail, and we recommend, as always, Mouse Fan Travel, who can provide you with a free quote to book that trip.
Definitely. And I think the sailings, I think, start at 7 nights. So hopefully
Hmm.
you can get in
I
there one
think
night.
because yes, because the hyperspace is, I think that's all 3 and 4 night sailings,
Yeah,
and so there's a lot more, FOMO. There's way too much to do on that ship that you could squeeze into when you got a full week. Hopefully that spreads it out a little bit more.
hopefully. But, probably can't hang there every night, which would be my dream.
Probably not. Well, we'll wrap up the news in the queue with a look at Sesame Place near Philadelphia, where they have just announced all new holiday experiences for 2023. They're kicking off on November 18th and running through January 7th, with a special preview on the 17th just for season pass holders.
Yeah, so cute. I haven't been to this park since I was a kid, but it's adorable. I also love their holiday merch. I was just looking at the gingerbread pillows that I got last year.
Oh, that's
So
great.
cute. They have the best stuff.
Yes, this is because I grew up in Jersey
Hmm.
and I loved Sesame Street. This was at least once or twice a year made a visit, and it's been far too long since I was there. But this year, most importantly, Santa Claus is going to make his first appearance there on November 18th at Santa's Grand Illumination. He's going to light up the park and meet guests for the first time of the season. You can meet Santa in a bunch of different, 2 different ways there. They've got Santa's Christmas Dine, which includes a meet and greet with Santa. And they've also got a meet and greet in Santa's Furry Workshop, which now has new theme sections and interactive queue elements.
Love it. Yeah, so fun. It's just such a great family park, perfect for families with younger ones, and this
Hmm.
is a great way to get it in. And it's all, besides some of the upcharge stuff, it's all included with normal admission. You're not paying
Yep.
for an after hours event.
Yeah, you're right. The also included is the Christmas story time in the studio theater, and Twas the Night celebration, and that is taking place on December 24th, sending Santa back to the North Pole.
Oh, cute.
And if you don't celebrate Christmas, you might be interested in the Hanukkah celebration, which includes a sing-along, a menorah lighting ceremony, and this year they've got an all-new Hanukkah story time with a surprise character and a Hanukkah activity station. Along with a Kwanzaa celebration taking place from December 26th through January 1st, and a New Year's celebration with fireworks on December 31st.
So fun. I love when they do those mock New Year's Eve countdowns for kids, where they counted down at like 3 p.m.
Hmm. Yeah, I
So
mean, long before Peppa Pig was getting all the new, all the headlines, this was like the original world-class theme park designed for little kids.
yeah.
And I'm glad that they've kept it up and continued to add things through the years. Need to make a trip back there, but feel a little creepy going. I need to rent a small
Yes.
child to go. Yeah. So if you want more information, check out sesameplace.com. And that is going to bring us to the end of our news in the queue. Before we jump into our main attraction, let us hear a word from our sponsors.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and Mousefan Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction.
All right, for this week's main attraction, we are going to talk about what is new for the 2023 holiday season at Walt Disney World. Holidays are fast approaching. Officially, the celebration runs November 11th through December 31st, but there's some things that start a little earlier, run a little later. The big new headliner this year is the Frozen Holiday Surprise Show, which is coming to the Magic Kingdom. It's been a while since we've had a Frozen projection show on the castle, but now it is back nightly as of November 7th.
Yes, and I know a lot of people are confused because there's been quite a few shows in the same reign in front of the castle.
With many, there was like Elsa's Christmas Wish or something.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's been multiple names. Sometimes there were like physical icicles. I don't think that there's any actual icicles on the castle this year.
No.
I gotta tell you, I was shocked when I was at Disneyland and there's the pumpkin on Main Street, and at the other end of Main Street, the castle has snow on it already. Yes. And I was like, cognitive dissonance when holidays collide. But yeah, this one is a new production, but it is similar to previous ones, going to combine live characters with lighting and projection mapping. This one is going to feature Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, Olaf, and the Snow Geese, those cute little miniature snowmen from Frozen Fever.
Yes, they really get their time in the sun. You know, they're at Blizzard Beach now.
They're all over. They've blown up.
Heroes.
So they've had, yes, you're right. It started with a Cinderella Christmas show. Then there was an Elsa show. Then they kind of stopped doing it for a while, and then there was the 50th. So Frozen Holiday Surprise is the name of the new production, but it might look a little bit like some of the old productions. Sure, we're going to have much more sophisticated projection mapping, though, because they've come a long way with that in just the last few years.
Yes. And what I am most excited for is Disney Jollywood Nights at Disney Hollywood Studios, a brand new event that is essentially for adults. I mean, they really came out and said that on Good Morning America.
Right.
This event is for adults.
And so this is if you liked the idea of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas parties, but they were just a little too family focused for you, you want to feel a little more comfortable walking around with a cocktail, this one is for you. It is also a hard ticket, separately priced event. They announced this last summer, and we've talked before about some of the details. You're going to have a new variety show called Disney Holidays in Hollywood inside the Beauty and the Beast theater, and then inside the Frozen theater, they've got a show with Mickey and Minnie teaming up with Kermit and Miss Piggy plus Belle and Tiana. So that is like the Disney multiverse.
Yeah. It's going to be really hard. I'm already like mapping out my plan of attack for the evening because they also announced the foodie guide, which has been amazing. Like there's so much that they're doing food wise, but then also entertainment. This show with Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy live is going to be, in demand. Yep. So it's going to be hard to do it all. Even skipping all rides, which I'm going to do, it's going to be really tough to get everything in.
Absolutely, because that show that I just mentioned, I'm sorry, that is in the Theater of the Stars, which is the Beauty and the Beast theater. The Hyperion Theater, which is the Frozen theater, is going to have the Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along. So I am assuming that might be similar to the Frozen sing-along that they do. I'm assuming it's not going to be the entire movie. I got to see that once on a Disney ship, which was a lot of fun, but I'm guessing this is going to be an edited down version. just the songs from Nightmare Before Christmas. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
definitely fun. That is probably like lower on my list of a priority because it's a sing along. When you compare it to, I mean, it's gonna be amazing, I'm sure.
what about meeting the characters? Mickey and Friends Holiday Greeting in Animation Courtyard. You got the Fab Five there in their holiday costume. I'm sorry, we got 6 of them.
Yes. So I love the story with this. It's like they came off the movie set from just working in production. This is going to be so cute. Probably also a long line, as we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
Jack and Sally was 3 hours at Magic this year.
Wow.
This is like something I could walk past and see and be happy. You know, but what I'm most excited for are the lounges, which I cannot believe that we are going to get to go to the Tip Top Club. That is probably what I am going to in my plan of attack rope drop. You know, I'm going to get there early. Then also the Brown Derby is doing a jazz soiree, and they included in the announcement that they'll be using a virtual queue for that. So that's good.
All right. So scan in and get your return number for that as quickly as you can.
Yes.
The Tip Top Club, you know, am I the only one? Did I dream this? That there was a brief time where they almost put a bar inside the exit of
So yes, that was a rumor at one point, but it was really funny. I think I told you this story. It was around the same time that Nomad Lounge was opening at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Right.
And I went to the opening, and one of the Imagineers was there, and I was like, "Hey, what is this rumor with them putting a bar there?" And he's like, "It's totally fabricated. That was never an idea. It was just like the internet jumped with it."
Well, you know, sometimes the internet tells you what you should be doing. So this is obviously you know, there's a demand for this. It's just a shame that it is outside. I could have sworn that there's a like a private space up on the level up above the gift shop.
Yes, so that's where it is. So it's on that second level.
Oh, it is on there. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
I thought they
this
were
is
just
the
putting it out in
space.
the courtyard.
No,
Fantastic.
so this is the space that you can rent if you do Disney weddings.
Yes.
So
Oh, okay. Well, then
I've definitely looked through the
might be
photos
worth
of
the
it.
price of admission to this event just to get up into that space. I would be
100%.
I would
That
be
is
camping out in there all night for
Oh
sure.
yeah, that is it for me.
And if you are a fan of Gertie the dinosaur, you can get a cookie shaped like her at Gertie's Ice Cream of Extinction.
Loved what everyone did on socials with that.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
And finally, those Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam fireworks, which have not been around since the pandemic, are going to be coming back during this event.
Very excited.
Moving over to Epcot and the Epcot resorts, of course, we're going to have lavish decoration, not only in the park, but also at the Yacht Club Resort. And there is going to be, as always, a new art display made out of gingerbread. Traditionally, we get those at the Grand Floridian, the Contemporary, the Boardwalk, the Beach Club, the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now we're going to have one at the Yacht Club as well.
Very excited. I love the Beach Club, how it has the carousel with all the horses of the different characters. It is such a, you know, a favorite little tradition to go around and look at everything. So we get something new.
A few things that aren't directly tied to the holiday celebrations, but are happening around the same time. Long-awaited new Epcot show. The new Epcot show, since we had a new one, and then that one was supposed to be forever, but it wasn't forever because we had another one, Harmonious, that was not that harmonious, so that was gone. And so now we've got Luminous, the Symphony of Us, and that is finally debuting on December 5th, 2023, and whether it's good, whether it's bad, it's not going to plant a giant barge in the middle of the lake all day and all night. So yeah,
all that matters. Is it just me, or do all the names for the Epcot new celebrations sound like perfume names from like the 90s, like Calvin Klein?
Yeah. Yes, it's. I mean, at this point, everything either sounds like a perfume or it sounds like a medication. You know, so as long as it's not Ozempic, the Symphony of Us, I'm fine. We're also looking forward to sometime in December, the center of Epcot finally reopening, and those Christmas crowds having a little more elbow room in the middle of World Celebration.
Absolutely.
Other favorite things that are coming back, just to run through real quickly, Minnie's Holiday Dining Character Lunch and Dinner is coming back to Hollywood Studios on November 8th. And we've got Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party on select nights, November 9th through the 22nd. We don't know anything that is particularly new about this year's party. It's pretty much, if you've been to one Very Merry Christmas Party, you've been to them all.
I love Disney Springs Christmas and all of their
Yes.
holiday celebrations. It is free. You don't have to pay to get in.
Best
The
thing about it.
Christmas tree trail is so cool. I love it. You can also meet Santa there. They do I feel like their virtual queue system with that is really seamless anytime I've tried to use it.
Mhm.
And of course, the decor there is just so beautiful.
Yeah. You can check out that Christmas tree stroll and the nightly snowfall in the town center starting November 10th. And my personal favorite thing at Disney during the Christmas season is Living with the Land, when they decorate the boathouse, the boat tour with Christmas lights. They call it glimmering greenhouses. And that is coming back along with the candlelight processional.
And a
And
lot
the
of new
festival
talent this year.
storytellers. Yeah, a lot of new folks. November 24th is when that kicks off, and those new folks include Chrissy Metz, Luis Fonsi, and Margaret, Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
Someone is going to bring him a cup of coffee, I hope.
Well, I hope someone makes a shirt like with cocoa as the word replaced in it, since it's like a holiday thing. I don't know.
Well, I think you've got to do that now.
I know. Now I have to do it.
Even Longoria, Joey McIntyre, Sterling K. Brown, Jordan Fisher, and Audra McDonald.
Great lineup. I mean, I feel like this year is really a lot of A-listers that they threw in there.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah, excellent lineup. And other favorites that are coming back, we don't have specific dates about, but we are assuming that they will be through the holiday season, such as the Jingle Cruise at Magic Kingdom, the Merry Menagerie
Yes.
Puppets at Animal Kingdom, the Sunset Season Greeting Projections at Hollywood Studios, and the Holiday Bar at Jock Lindsay's in Disney Springs. So keep an eye out for all of those. It's not a lot of really big new headliners, but it's a lot of little things coming back. Finally getting fully back to kind of the pre-pandemic lineup, which is nice.
Absolutely, yes. I will be at opening of Jollywood. What about you?
Excellent. If they would like to offer me a press comp, possibly, but I can't justify buying an annual pass and then also going to all of these hard ticket events.
I am with you. I did purchase a ticket against like every fiber of my being, but I will say I don't do that often. The only thing I buy a ticket for besides my annual pass is Oogie Boogie Bash, which is my favorite Disneyland event. I put hard limits on myself, but I could not miss.
You got to draw a line somewhere, but I
Yeah.
would say that Tip Top Club at the Tower of Terror may be worth that price of admission. All right, well, that brings us to the end. Before we wrap this up, let us take a look at some of the comments that you left us during the live broadcast. And wow, you guys left us a bunch of comments. So we're going to try to flow through them real quick. Brian Sager was wondering if the new tree house for Disneyland will draw inspiration from SEA's lore. And we have heard that, yes, you are correct. We will have at least some Easter eggs
Right. But
tied
I don't
to
think the
that.
story was inspired by C, if that makes sense. You know, it's the existing story, and then it's going to be sprinkled in with some of the C stuff, is what I kind of think.
Brian was also wondering about the walkway from Disney California Adventure was Paradise Pier. Now it's Pixar Place Hotel guests. Is it still there?
Yeah.
Yes, I just used it. At Rope Drop, you definitely have to have a card to get through there. You don't have a card to use it as an exit, and it's a great exit if you are staying at one of those motels on the west side of the
Right.
resort. But it is still there, and it is definitely a great perk in the mornings for folks who are staying at that hotel.
Right. And I don't see them changing it because there's really kind of very little perks to staying on site. This is one of the major ones, and I feel like they're going to definitely keep it when the official rebrand happens in January.
Brian was on a roll. We've got like a lot of comments from Brian. So thank you, Brian, for being our third co-host today. Pointing out that not only that is Tron going to standby line for after hours, but Rise of the Resistance, which has a standby line, is going back to virtual queue. So who knows?
I don't know. I just can't see the majority of people going to Jollywood nights caring about Rise of the Resistance because this is like a fan servicing event, if that makes sense.
Yes,
this
absolutely.
is for hardcore Disney people. So I'm interesting. It is interesting that they are using the virtual queue system for us because I mean that's like nowhere near on my list of what I'm doing.
Absolutely, yeah. You got other priorities. Finally, from Brian, when we were talking about Tokyo Disneyland, he mentioned that they are introducing mobile ordering for select dining locations on November 8th for the first time. This is something new for OLC. It's interesting that Japan is such a technologically advanced country compared to the United States in a lot of ways.
Right.
But they were still using paper fast passes long after we got rid of ours. There's still,
I love paper fast passes.
Use traditional queues for a lot of things, mostly because people there seem to be able to wait in a queue without, causing fist fights that end up on TikTok, unlike folks over here. So it'll be interesting to see how mobile ordering does over there. A few other comments we had. Nathan Retta, it's his 30th birthday. Yo! Happy birthday.
That's an exciting one. 30 was one of my favorites. Happy birthday.
And Brian had another comment, said for the Disney Treasure, he mentions that they drew inspiration from Raleigh Crump's Museum of the Weird, one of my favorite lost, unbuilt Disney attractions that's tied to the Haunted Mansion. So we'll definitely look for those Easter eggs. And they also mentioned ties into Phantom Manor. He was also wondering about the Donald Duck chair as well.
I don't think they're going to put it there. I mean, Disney is so careful, meticulous with their, archived stuff.
Brian Tull is chiming in to say he's excited for the new Christmas show in Disney World and for Frozen. And at Disneyland, he's looking out for those new Mickey and Friends Christmas outfits.
Oh, yes. These are the mid-century modern ones, right?
Yes. We talked about those before, and they look fantastic. And it looks like Brian is going to be fighting you for first into the Tip Top Club as well. All right. And I got to end with this. His last comment from Brian is he is wishing for a duo at the Candlelight Processional of Brendan Fraser with Neil Patrick Harris. That would be gold.
Yeah, I feel like Brandon Fraser is going to be really busy. I cannot wait for that.
All right. Well, thank you for all of you who left those great comments. And before we go, we want to thank once more our sponsors, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I want to remind everyone, please go and leave us a rating or a review wherever you listen to us, whether that's Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And please be sure to follow attractionsmagazine.com and Attractions Magazine on whatever social media platform you're using these days. Carly, where can folks find you?
Yes, I am on Instagram at Adventures by Carly and on Twitter X at Carly Caramana.
I am on all socials at S. Kuberski, and also you can find me and my books at theunofficialguides.com. And until next week, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. We will see you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.